Hello. Lumi midday stream. Yes, midday stream for me. I've got some things to do a little later this afternoon / evening. So midday stream for me. Oh, am I on? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sometimes VitoTube likes messing with me, so I had to make sure. Let's... Awesome. How are you doing? That is the entire point of this stream, to talk about how I'm doing. So we will get there soon. Let me put on my BGM. There we go. Okay, housekeeping first, because if I get wrapped up in conversation, I literally will always forget. Also, while I'm talking and doing my housekeeping, let me know if you can hear me or if I'm low, if I'm too high. For anyone who hasn't been here before, my name is Luminous Peak. If you have in fact been here before, welcome back to the library. I am a Fae tuber who is a night witch, and basically that means that I save universes from lots of anomaly type stuff. But right now I'm on vacation, so I'm just streaming to share my experience, learning about what humans do for fun, because you guys are fun. If you have never been here before, if you're lurking, I have a lurker redeem. Feel free to get your paws on that. You can also hit the exclamation point hello. I do have like a greeting set up for new people who are in. And I have like a little choose your own adventure, explore my corner of the library thing going on. If you hit exclamation point explore or exclamation point library. Normally I stream gameplay sometimes, but my bread and butter are monthly keyboard build streams. I build mechanical custom keyboards, and I often stream my builds. So that's the majority of the content. I also do productivity streams and study streams. So that's cool. Lemon, hello, hello. How are you? Congratulations to Lemon for grabbing first. 180, I'm surprised you didn't snag it. But second place isn't that bad either. Silver is a pretty nice color. Hello, I'm in the pool, so. And then damn for gore, GG, yeah. Early bird gets the worm, that's how it is. I hope that you enjoy your time in the pool. Today, I actually just wanted to just touch base. It's been like a week since I've streamed. I've had a very busy week. The holiday was earlier this week for us Americans, and also Canada Day is literally the same day. So interesting. Second place is first loser. Okay, but first loser is kinda an achievement too. It doesn't look as lame to fail first, right? Because you had to actually like put yourself out there. Still better than failing last, you know? I'm only joking. I know. I just had to humor you. Okay. So I do want to start by asking how everyone else is doing, what sort of week you've had. I know that Lemon is on vacation. I know that she's lurking, so I'm not sure if she's actually gonna reply. But I hope that you have fun on your vacation with your fam and that you actually get to unwind and relax and all that stuff. Oh man. I don't even know where to begin. Work, sleep, grind, the usual. That's fair. I feel it. Usually when I stream, you are about to go to work. So this is like a miracle. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have a date more or less in a few hours to watch the second season of Jujutsu Kaisen with someone. And that's why I cannot hang out all day. I will be watching season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. It dropped recently, and I want to see it. That's it. That's the TLDR. There's nothing fishy going on here. JJK baby, yeah, exactly. I'm pretty picky about anime that I like, especially when it comes to shonen or seinen. So Jujutsu Kaisen is like, it's that ish for me. It is. I love it so much. It's actually great. I think almost everyone would enjoy it. So there, yeah. I'm not gonna say I recommend it because I don't believe in recommending my own personal taste to people who may have different tastes. But I will say that I think it's enjoyable. I think it's enjoyable enough to say that it's enjoyable out loud. This week has been awesome for anime. Yes! Mushoku Tensei, JJK, and Bleach in 1 week. Yeah, there's been a couple other things too. Horimiya, which is like a slice of life anime that was really good, came out recently. So that's also been cool. It's just been, the summer is always really good for anime, honestly. And even for someone as picky as me, there's stuff that's come out. I actually wanted to start watching Oshinoko, but I have not done so yet. So it's on the list. We'll get there. I've been slowly but surely working through my list. I recently finished the first season of Chainsaw Man. I think I said that in my last stream last week. I've never had 3 series I love this much start in 1 week. That's fair. I mean, everyone's tastes are different, but usually people be eating good in the summer because, you know, more people have time. Kids are like home from school and stuff. They know how to market. They know what it is. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna have a good time. I was actually talking about different anime that I like. I went to dinner yesterday with a bunch of friends. We did an escape room, which was actually really fun. It was, I dare say it was probably one of the funnest ones I've ever been to. The theme was like the infirmary. So your surgeon was stuck in traffic and there's this guy that needs to have heart surgery done. within 60 minutes, which is like the time for the escape room. And you have to, you know, like solve puzzles to unlock different equipment and things, specifically so that you can basically unlock the controls to do the heart surgery in place of the surgeon. And that was super interesting. You actually do have to basically play Operation on the table and like sanitize his heart and do DNA sequencing, even though that's not a real thing. Yeah, I think I remember talking with you about escape rooms with you. Yeah, I've been to a couple. I think since streaming, I've only done 2. I did one that was based on the president's bunker, where like the nuclear launch codes were set off by accident, and you had to solve a series of puzzles to deactivate it so that like the world doesn't end or World War III doesn't start or something like that. That was the last one I went to, and I do think I talked about it a little on stream. But that was months and months ago, probably last year, I think. This one was more fun because of the interactive component. Like when you get to the end and you have to do the heart surgery, the heart is on like a pulley system, where you and another person have to stand on both sides of the table and like use like a pulley system to position the heart in the right place to like lower it down for decontam, and then lower it down again to do like various stuff to check and make sure it's a match or whatever. And then they have like a mannequin in the middle that has like a hole in his chest, and you have to insert the heart there after you've done all the other steps. It was actually really fun. I had a very good time. We lost more time on that room than we wanted to, though, because one of the cabinets or something that we had to open, we definitely solved the puzzle and unlocked it. We had the key. But the lock didn't fully fall apart after we took it off. So like basically all their locks have like rubber lines running through them that they put their locks through. So taking the lock off is not enough. You also have to remove like the rubber sleeve that's getting in the way of the lock itself. But we didn't notice that. So we just thought like, oh, it didn't open, or that we opened it already and we were missing a component. So it sucked. We got stuck basically because of that and had to ask for like a hint, but it wasn't really a hint. They basically played around. They came in and was like, okay, I see all the puzzles you guys have solved. Like, I don't understand why you guys are stuck. And we were like, we don't know either. It was like right near the end too. It sucks because I think we could have made it closer to the record if we hadn't wasted time thinking that something was, like everything was fine. But it's okay. We finished it with 17 minutes to spare, which was still pretty good. It is what it is. It happens that way. So we've been to 4 different ones at that location. So they're about to have like a new one in the building, and we're gonna have to see how that works out. We've literally done all of them. They're like, oh, you guys have just run through the place, huh? And I was like, yeah, we sure have. So that was cool. We had dinner afterwards at a sushi restaurant, and inevitably we're all nerds, so we started talking about anime and stuff we like to watch. So we're all looking forward to different things. So I'm very excited to catch up on Jujutsu Kaisen this weekend. Make more for us. I mean, basically that's where we're at, unless they want us to go to some different location. And I mean, we totally could. Nothing wrong with going to a different location. I've been to quite a few for escape rooms, and I think that that's fine. But you go to a place, they start recognizing you or whatever. You get those loyalty points. Other things that happened this week. Oh my gosh, guys. I put up this thread that was very, very long about some controversy happening in the keyboard community. Not you guys again. Yes, exactly. Not you guys again. But yes, it is us again, and we're paying you more. They tried to sell us tickets on the way out. They were like, hey, if you buy tickets direct from us on your way out, you get like $10 off. And we were like, but we've done everything. Send us like a coupon code or something. But yeah, the keyboard thing is like wild. For anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm gonna try to I can't say summarize it because I feel like my tweet thread like definitely summarized it, but it's just long, honestly. It's crazy. So to try to make it as succinct as possible, there is a US vendor for Keyboard Stuff that basically misappropriated funds that were given for different projects. And they were trying to, I guess, get ahead of the game by reinvesting in projects that normally wouldn't be successful. But they over-invested money they were supposed to use for that purpose. So when it came time to actually pay the invoices for the projects that had already been funded, they didn't have the money. This is alleged. This is allegedly. Allegedly, this is what happened. So there are now invoices that are unpaid for a lot of keyboard projects. And this is, of course, money that people have in fact paid. So we are currently not getting our products. And then on top of that, a lot of the manufacturers have made some of the things already. So they've also got unpaid. You should start a keyboard news channel. There are keyboard news channels. That's the thing. There are keyboard news channels. I guess what I'm trying to do is like condense the information down to people who are not in the hobby. Because I feel like if you're in the hobby already, you know how to figure it out, right? You know, you have places that you go to for news and stuff already. But yeah, like this is the no way. It should be no surprise that niche hobbies have their own like news sources. But like, yeah, it's crazy. So I want to try to paint the picture of the situation and how it came about in the first place, or at least how it became mainstream and people noticed. So to try to put this in the simplest terms possible, there was a vendor. Their name is Mexico. I have no problem with name dropping them. It's not like they could have a worse reputation than they currently have, you know? So there were a couple keyboard projects that were fully funded in the community. They were very popular. Everybody knew. Oh yeah, IDKFY, I'm so surprised, but you're the only one I would watch any. Oh, you're so sweet. It also makes sense though. If you're not already in the hobby, it's kind of like, why reach out to look? You know, I think your average person, unless they were already interested, wouldn't bother. So, yeah, so this project was fully funded and it was canceled despite being fully funded. So people were like, why? If this, like, what is happening? The person who designed the keyboard, it was 2 different keyboards that were canceled. So people were asking the designer, like, you know, what is going on? We paid for our boards. We like them. We like this project. What is going on? Like, what's happening? And the designer basically said, oh, I was never paid to manufacture these boards. And after trying to reach this vendor for a long time, I just decided it's not worth it. Because I don't have the money to front for the manufacturing myself, personally. A cool model. Have you made it by yourself? I did not make this model. Let me grab my mama's name because she does great work and I am super happy to shout her out. I think she has a Twitch as well, actually. She sure does. Let's shout out mama. Sulor or Sumi. Let's see. Oh no, not them telling me that the channel doesn't exist. I'm literally looking at the channel right now. Why are we here? Twitch, don't be weird. There we go. Sue Lore, also known as Sumi, she does great art. Her own model is super great. And she does commissions. Her commissions are currently open, actually. I like her art style. She managed to actually make me a little more unique than her typical art, which was really great. But thank you for the compliment. We would be nothing without our artists. And you have some kind of, why do I have some kind of horns? These are antlers, actually. So I'm a Fae VTuber. So usually fairy designs take a lot of different components from different things. The lore officially is that we embody just sort of like concepts, ideas, or energies. There's no real rhyme or reason for what Fae look like. They can look like a number of things. So I have fox ears and horns. I thought you were growing trees out of your head. So Fae are normally associated with nature. So my antlers do look like tree branches. That is like on purpose. That is an homage to a lot of like natural Fae lore. And it also, I think, makes the butterflies a little more plausible, you know? I am actually going to be going over my ref sheet and things today. But we're just, you know, there's so much to talk about. So many things have happened this week. Yes, I'm glad it makes sense. Fortunately for you all, this is just my humanoid form. Turns out humans are very scared of things that don't look human in some way, shape, or form. So this is a little better for me in terms of interacting with people. I think if I showed up with the way I normally look without any glamour, the response is usually something similar to, what the fuck is that? So, you know, this is just a little more comfy. But yes, keyboard summary things. So this project fell through even though it was fully funded, and people started asking questions. Soon after, another vendor came forward. Burn it with fire. Yes, exactly. Another vendor came forward and basically said, we haven't been paid for any of our projects past XYZ date. So people started asking the vendor, hey, what's going on? And they basically shut down their Discord to stop people from asking questions. While great PC stats, it would be a pity if you play Minecraft and Fortnite on it. Honestly, most of the time, I'm a pretty chill streamer, I will say. Usually, the type of things I play are like visual novels, puzzle games, or like sort of exploratory games. Not that I'm against anything with a little more like action and energy, but it takes like devotion to develop skills at those things, and that's not like my passion. I think the closest thing to like a really good action game that I play is Destiny 2, but I have it on PS4 and not on PC, so I'm just kind of SOL. At least you can run First Crisis with 60 FPS. You know, when I first got this rig, which isn't even like a superb rig or anything, I actually thought of that when I did like the benchmark test to see. I do come from the era where you measured everything against Crisis, so like that's crazy. But this thing runs pretty well. It's not the best by far, but it does what I need it to do. So I have no complaints there. Yeah, so this vendor basically is telling people, we don't have any money. And we're like, but we gave you money. So where is our money that we gave you? And they're like, we don't have any money. So that's crazy. A lot of people are out of a lot of money. The explanation they gave basically is, again, they overinvested in projects without making sure they had anything in stock to sell to have like liquid assets. In layman's terms, basically, if you're funding projects for your business, you still want to sell stuff on the side so that you're bringing money into your business while you're waiting for your project to complete. I feel like these are normal things to think about. You still have to keep money coming in so that you can pay your bills and stuff like that. Yeah, they ended up with liquid ass. That's exactly what happened. So now lots and lots of people are out of money. Chuvak, just to let you know, my streams are normally a split between, relaxing gaming streams. I do some study and productivity streams where like we go on field trips. I have like ambient background noise that matches a different setting, because sometimes people study better under those conditions. And also I build custom mechanical keyboards. That is the spiel. I do have like a YouTube where I post up VODs for things, maybe like a few days to a week after I've actually, gone live. But you can view some of my keyboard builds there, and examples of like my productivity streams and stuff there if you're interested. You can also hit !YouTube to do that. That's a whole thing you can do. Yeah, so lots of people are out of money. They're not very happy. And because this is a US vendor in the mechanical keyboard scene, they just made us all look bad, basically. Everyone's like, I see, so y'all are just some scammers. It's not great. The situation is just not great. So there was a whole thread on Twitter that I wrote about it with a little more detail, answering some questions about like, why did this happen? What can people expect to do, etc. So I'm not gonna, comb over every single detail here, because I know not everyone that lurks in my streams are into keyboards. Most people just enjoy hearing my voice, apparently. Let's see. Other things that happened this week, guys. I had to help my friend move, and that was crazy. That was a crazy time. Obviously, I love my friend. I helped them move, so I care about them very much. But they didn't pack any of their things. Like, we got there, and none of their stuff was packed. I'm just here to learn about keyboard. Man, there's so much keyboard stuff going on. I think my next stream will probably be like a review of projects that have happened in the last few months. Because I have had a couple people ask me about it. There are other streamers that review those projects. So I've always felt a little awkward, like I'm just sort of piggybacking off of their content. But I feel like if I'm catching people who want to learn more about keyboards who aren't already in the hobby, then it's probably okay. So yeah, that's nuts, crazy. But yeah, I helped my friend move. That was nuts. They didn't have anything packed. Literally nothing at all. There was absolutely nothing in a box when we got there. Besides some things that another friend of his had already packed. Like, they started packing when his other friends arrived. So we had to help him pack up his things and then also move them. And it's like, he lives in a studio apartment, so he doesn't have a bedroom. So he doesn't have a whole lot of things, but he definitely has enough things for it to have gone more smoothly if we had already had things packed. How long did it take? Okay, I think from start to finish, maybe close to 5 or 6 hours. Your lore is like a Dragon Ball character backstory. I like it. Thank you. I'm actually gonna read it out in detail. This is actually the stream. I just got a ref sheet done. I'm just kind of getting, settled in, talking about my week, because it's been a little while since I've streamed. I usually stream once or twice a week, but this is definitely a week where I've only streamed once, and it's this stream, since there's been so much going on. But thank you. I'm gonna hydrate. Oh my gosh. I've been so busy doing so many things. My throat is like absolutely shot. Luminous Piccolo? That smells like fan art. I'll have to ask someone to do like a piece of art of me cosplaying as Piccolo or something. That would be fantastic. So yeah, I helped someone move. That was crazy. That was 6 hours, which is not bad for a move, I'm not gonna lie, but it could have definitely been shorter by 2 or so hours if we didn't have to pack things up. Let's see. For any of you who follow Corpo VTubers, Nina Kosaka graduated this week She's like a Niji-sanji VTuber. Damn, that's not bad. Yeah, listen. And I'm leaving out some details. The new place that he's in is really old, as well, just like his old place. And so it's got like, it's one of those houses that has like weird, like dimensions. Like the doors are super narrow. The hallways are like not standard size either. Everything is just like narrow. It's basically like they took a manor and like chopped it up and then like decided to make that into a set of apartments. So there's like awkward banisters and stairs and stuff everywhere. So moving his stuff in was pretty awkward. Oh my gosh. Let's see. And who's Fae? I'm Slavic, but I still don't know who they are. Okay, so we're gonna get into this a little bit. I'm just gonna use this as like a transition. I can always talk about what's going on like in life at any time. So let's actually get into it. It's the fourth dimension that always gets me in my house. Okay. So basically, Fae are a mythical being or legendary creature. They're usually a form of spirit that is sometimes corporeal, so sometimes they have solid bodies and sometimes they don't, but they're usually like supernatural beings that have self-awareness, pretty much. So in a lot of folklore about them, because they are featured in like Slavic, Celtic, Germanic, English, and French folklore, they're pretty widespread. So each of those cultures has kind of like slightly different interpretations of them. But they're pretty much like a race of supernatural beings that have kind of like powers that are just based on like nature or like the essence of things. In countries that are not strictly Christian, they could be considered to be like a nature equivalent to demons. So imagine if like demons were nature spirits, they would be Fae, pretty much. And it does depend on which lore we're talking about. Sometimes Fae are noted as a type of supernatural being. So you would count like goblins or gnomes as type of Fae. They're like magical nature spirits, more or less. And then there are some types of lore that have Fae as having their own, like they're all just randomly created from energy that is around them in nature, and then they have their own personalities and powers based on those things. Some of the folklore surrounding them, okay, I have no clue how to pronounce that, but yes, like those little humans with wings and magic, that is a version of Fae. Yes, there's lots of different interpretations of them, depending on like, you know, the culture you're coming from. Yep. So like if we're talking mainstream, like, I don't know, US Disney stuff, Tinkerbell is a fairy, right? So tiny people with wings. They're not always interpreted to be that way though. So it kind of, it's tricky, but they're basically a group of magical folk that have humanoid forms, or at least humanoid tendencies, basically. Sometimes in lore about Fae, they have their own realm that's like parallel to ours. So it's said that their human appearances, and I mean, I'm being educational here, right? Like I'm breaking character to actually try to inform you about it. So in their realm, supposedly some of them look different, right? So while they're here, they don't always look, or while they're like at home, they don't always look human. But there's folklore about them cutting deals with people, trading magic for promises and things like that. So they're more approachable if they look a little more human, you know? Oh no, my immersion. So In terms of etymology, and I'm like getting really educational here. So like the origin of the word, fairy comes from the modern English word fairy, that's Faerie, which means realm of the fays, right? So, and that word actually comes from Latin. It's a Latin phrase, fae, for the fates. So the idea is fairies are like the embodiment of possibility, right? They're like wild magic, given a form and able to interact with you. I remember some of these fae were stealing kids and go, yes. So that is the thing that most people remember. Fae do not always steal children, but the folklore of them stealing children is very pervasive. Like it comes up a lot in certain types of lore, especially like Celtic and English. So yeah, but they do other things. Some of them steal names. Others trade different traits and abilities that you have as a human for different types of things. So for example, sometimes you'll get something like, if you trade me your ability to love another person, I will make you the more like the most talented person in XYZ field, sort of thing. Some of them are winks. Yes. That is in fact the inspiration for like the old Winx Club cartoon. Literally that. So you are absolutely correct. Usually they're human in appearance, but not always. Especially in modern interpretations. Because the idea is if you're just wild magic, then you can kind of look like anything. Fae folk is what's used to refer to things that are related to fae, but may not be like human fae exactly. So it honestly depends. There's, culture spreads out over time and people develop things and tweak stories to fit their culture and things like that. So there's actually like a really wide net. Which was your favorite Winx chick? Oh, let's see. Let's see. I think it's probably, man, that's so tough. Okay. It's probably Flora or Musa. Probably. I love Musa, actually. Oh, you know what? I did like Aisha too. Dang. The characters are so good. I don't know, man. The best girl will always be Sky. I don't hate Sky. I also like Stormy. I know that she's like, like a villain character or whatever, but I also like Stormy. Stormy's cool. The designs for Winx Club are really good. I know 180 is like, what the heck is the Winx Club? It was an old cartoon. I don't know if you've seen it or you're familiar with it, but it was an old fairy-based cartoon that came on Saturday mornings. It was very popular. For real, I really like those 3 bad witches. I honestly really love the colors in the Winx Club designs, to be honest. Like, the art style was a little hit or miss for me. I was not like a super huge fan of the art style, but I understood why they went for it. It was very easy to like turn into dolls or whatever. And the colors and design language, regardless of the style, was actually just like really cool. They did a really good job making everybody feel unique, which is hard to do. But I always think that Witch Show was better than Winx. Oh man, I don't know if... I watched quite a bit of Witch. I don't know. I think I liked... So it was similar to Witch Club for me. I think I would put it on like the same tier. It wasn't like great, but it was still pretty good. Makes sense, yeah. And also it was on TV in the US as well. Maybe also Canada. So I don't know if it actually showed in the UK. I know that's where you're based. But yeah, it was a good show. It was an interesting show. That's what I'll say. It was an interesting show, but I'm not sure if I would say it was great. I was waiting for the plot to sort of like ramp up a bit. But you know, can't say I heard of it. Yeah, it's so old. I think the first episode air date for which at least was 2004. I think so. I think so. It had to have been 2004, 2005, maybe. I was fairly young. I don't know, like in high school or something when this came out. And then I think that Winx Club came out at the same time. So we're talking like literally 20 years ago. Oh no. Although I assume reruns of it have come on since then. So it's probably not like the most recent air date. That's just like when the first episode came out. We had a lot of shows from different countries here in Ukraine. Some of them are underground and mostly crap, like Flipper and Lopaka. I have no clue what those are. I'm gonna look it up though. I'm looking it up right now. Oh my gosh. This is an old show. This is from 1964? Was it like a cartoon or like an actual full show? Because I'm seeing a live action show. But not anything recent or modern. It's from 1999. Okay. I'm always interested in these sort of things. So like, oh, okay. Flipper. Oh, okay. I found it. I've actually never watched this, and I'm not gonna lie, it does not look like something that I would watch. It has like the old Jungle Book type animation though. It's definitely giving discount Disney for sure. Like the hand-drawn Disney. I mostly I watched Russian or USSR cartoons when I was a kid. Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. Oh, it's an Australian show. Interesting. Do you watch any Russian cartoons? Oh man. So I'm going to say no because I don't watch anything regularly enough to answer yes. But I have seen some animations here and there in my day. Like I had a whole phase where I was just looking up media entertainment from other countries. So I'd watch like the occasional animated movie or something like that. But it's been a long time since I've done that. So like effectively no, but I'm not like completely ignorant to the fact that they exist. I definitely cannot remember enough to actually give you a reference, so I feel like it's only fair to just actually answer no. I've discovered some bangers though, as a child watching like Canadian and Australian cartoons. And I mean, I don't know, during the torrenting era, right, when like everyone was peer-to-peer stuff because the licensing was crazy. I definitely used to just download random stuff that looked cool and just watch it with my friends. What about Slavic movies? I feel like that's in the same boat, I'm not gonna lie. I do not remember any. So what I will say is it's much more likely, I can't even say it's not much more likely. I've watched at least 2 Russian animated films, but I can't for the life of me remember what they are, so they barely count. I don't think I've watched anything Slavic. I've definitely seen some movies that were inspired by like Celtic lore in terms of animation. So, and I remember those the most because I enjoyed them very much as a kid. A lot of French stuff because French animation is like really big. You won't like our cartoons because mostly they're creepy and depressive. It depends. It depends on what mood I'm in. I actually try to appreciate art for what it is. So even if I'm not like having a good time, if there's some value in it, I do try to find things to appreciate in terms of like the execution or the way that the perspective of the message is put, that kind of stuff. Also, your grammar's not that bad. I grade English papers for a living, basically. Your grammar's not that bad. I'm the creepy, depressive one. Give them to me. Hi, Vesper. It's me. I'm the problem. Hello, Vesper. How are you? I hope that you're having a good day. Oh, man. Okay. I've been on for 45 minutes. So I'm going to take a moment. You're being productive a little. Oh, that's awesome. There's Nightbot actually doing its job. I am gonna take... Oh, we can all be the problem together. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna downsize myself. We're gonna move over here to the corner. Here we go. So hopefully I won't be in the way while I show off some of the art and stuff I've got done recently. I'm so excited. My reference art is finally done. So that was the point of this stream. I probably should have actually just put on my Twitch that we were also looking at references and lore. Let me actually update the title to do that. I don't know. Whenever I'm in that moment where I have to label my streams, I always like freeze up and I'm like, what is this? What is it that we're doing? What is it that we're doing here? I don't know. Okay, let's see. We are gonna edit the title. We're gonna put here catching up plus looking at lore and refs. Here we go. Done. Hopefully that'll update. We're all good. I keep forgetting to change categories when I get out of chatting. Oh man, that happens to me quite often actually. Okay. So, for any of you that follow me on Twitter, which is perfectly fine if you don't. However, I recently, after quite a bit of waiting, got my ref sheet. It is finished. I am so excited. Look, one of the most popular ones is the cartoon called Sweather from 1992. I found it with English sub, but first I need to know if I can post links. You should be able to post links, I think. Oh, you weren't playing Lobotomy Corporation for the last 3 hours. You were just chatting. Oh no, I know you literally just came from doing that. Vesper, not you saying the mistake was something that happened today. Let's see. I will say if it's like a link to, you know, like a normal streaming place for it, that's fine. But of course, everyone be careful, cautious about links from people you don't know. Look out for your own safety. If someone posts something, it's totally fine not to click on it if you don't feel safe. So that makes, you know. Oh, it's a YouTube link, so it's like, it's fine. It's a YouTube link, so we all know it's cool. I'm looking at... Oh, you posted for Vesper? Yeah. I might take a look at it as well, actually, depending on what it's about. I'll definitely look it up after stream and see if I'm interested. For sure. But okay. I considered going to my presentation screen for this, but I am too excited and we're just gonna cover up chat while I like present my ref. Nah, you won't like it. You don't know. I like creepy stuff sometimes. If it's just depressing and not scary, then you know, like that's different. But if it's scary, then I might actually have to pass. Very stylistic. I'll take a look at it. Well, I'll take a little peek. Why not? If you don't try new things, you'll never know if your tastes are shifting, or if something is like, you know, an exception, or if there's like a nuance to what you like or whatever. I try things that I'm unlikely to like all the time, just because like you need to know. Are you sure that you don't like it, or do you just think that you don't like it? Okay, here we go. One thing I know for sure that I like is this ref sheet. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, so if you're following me on Twitter, you've seen this already. However, if you haven't, I'm proud to present. Bam! It's me. It's me as my reference. Oh my god. Lamau done. Leave me alone. Let me have this. Let me have this. Let me have this. I'm so excited. Right? So the person who made this is named Ozumi Wizard, and I will link them just so that people can find them and look at their art. They have a really dope fucking art style. It looks great, bro. Yeah, listen, I had to wait so long. I had to wait so long for this. But I'm so happy, especially with everything that's happening like in this face region here. This right here. This, I'm dying. I'm dying for this. This is it. This is it for me. This is fantastic. Like who wouldn't want this? Amazing. Look at my face. Look at my lips. I'm being, you know, like totally vain. Look at the antlers. They're gold tipped. The accessories and the hair. Yes. Yes, I am so fond. I am so fond. This is like so good. Why are you dying? I mean, like, I'm figuratively dying. So it's just an expression of being like so overwhelmed by an emotion that you are expiring, right? So in this case, I am so excited that I'm dying is what I'm trying to portray here. Okay. So looking at a couple things, right? Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because like figures of speech are sometimes weird, and I actually have quite a few lurkers in my stream who are like, I don't know, I'm alive, so it's killing me. Yes, I'm so alive that it's killing me 100%. It's just great when you get an art piece that is exactly what you want, like exactly 100%. Even if it's like in that maybe 98 to 100% range, it's actually really hard to find interpretations of what's in your head that matches exactly what you were looking for. So this is it for me personally. The headshot especially, it's giving. It's making my brain so happy. I love all the details. Yes. Okay. So let's go through some of the details, right? So I don't want to make this take all day. This is not a re-debut, but I just want to point out some things that I'm really excited about here. So obviously we've got the butterflies in the antlers. The little circles with the stuff is like, yes. So despite the fact that I've been really bad about talking about more witchy stuff on stream, because not everybody likes that. I am, in fact, a night witch in theme, so I have accoutrement and items. We've got a little potion bottle here. The lantern was super important to me, because the luminous part, right? You, even in my logo, like I have, you know, a little lantern here. So this was just like amazing. It's on my hip. It's like lore-wise, it's a little bonus store of power for emergency purposes. You know what my dream is? I always wanted to pull that ring in the nose as hard as I can, but that would hurt. I mean, for most people, that would hurt. Don't do that. So we've got the potion bottle. We've got like the bag of somatic components for like more raw types of magic. And I like the hint of that because it shows that I can do both. Like I have my own power that I can manipulate, but I can also evoke things in my environment, which is like very like earthy, pagan, witchy, you know. So it's a little, you know, best of both worlds. I got like a little bit of the supernatural stuff and a little bit of like the natural stuff, which I feel like represents Fae very well. They're usually kind of like a combination of the natural and unnatural, right? I'm gonna bug Katsu for little circles in my next reference sheet now. Yes, do it. My mom has a thing about sticking her finger in people with big earlobe circle. No, not the gauges. So I will say I do actually have gauged ears. You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't stick your finger in there. Okay. Looking here, we have like a close-up of my eye, which is really neato. And then we also have this tattoo. So this tattoo is basically part of like my supernatural ability. It's not quite a tattoo. It's like a piece of my essence that I wasn't able to wrangle into this form, basically. And then I pull those earlobe circle things as hard as you can. That's terrible. I understand the impulse. Yeah, I do understand the impulse. I do actually stick my own fingers in my ears sometimes. But I wouldn't want someone random to do it. Keep your hands to yourself. Oh my God. In terms of the outfit, okay. So I've talked to people about this before. But I, at least for right now, am interested in only showing my like VTuber model design in clothing that I actually own or have owned in the past. So all the outfits you've seen me in are things that I have actually worn out to places and to do things. So this is like a very close to home, like representative of me and my tastes. I've worn this hairstyle before. I own the antlers. I have the ears. I've worn this face paint very specifically for like an actual event. I have the stole here. Even this spinal, it's actually a deer vertebrae. I went to a pagan party for Ostara a couple years back and bought it for that, and it's actually excellent. I wish I had more places to wear it. And it more or less looks exactly like this. That's hardcore. I love it. I do not own this belt anymore, but I used to own them. They used to be very popular. Goes into your closet and naps everything. Glove garters. I don't think I have like the glove garters anymore. I might have borrowed them from a friend to keep my gloves up, but I have worn them before. The belt I don't currently have, but I used to have. I don't know. Like usually these belts are made out of like really cheap, cheap aluminum, so they bend really easily. It's very easy to toss them somewhere, and then when you go to wear them, like they are broken or don't fit. So I don't currently have it now, but I have. I do actually have apothecary bags. I do actually have like a little. It's actually like a holster specifically for potion bottles, but I didn't want to like block the potion bottle from view, so it's not in that here. I honestly think the only thing I don't have in this image are these sandals. I do not own these sandals. I've tried on a pair of these sandals, like the gladiator ones, but I do not own them. Are you even a witch without an obscene amount of jars? It's true. It's true. And this staff is a staff that I actually own. I have named it Faldovstra. And I haven't quite decided if this is like a familiar in staff form or if the staff itself is actually my familiar. I haven't made up my mind lore-wise. But doll is great. This is like a stone circle, which is supposed to represent like life cycles and duality with like the hole in the middle. And it does actually have these brass fixtures on it. It's literally a reproduction of the one that's sitting in my home right now. Like I'm looking at him right now. And man, this is literally him. It's great. I found him on Etsy and we've been together ever since, honestly. This side view is fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's so incredible. I feel like this isn't a super complicated design. It just has a lot of components, and I do think they look great together. I actually don't think I've worn every single item that's on here together as an outfit, but I totally would. Squishy thighs. I do have squishy thighs. I will say that I did, in fact, out of context, it sounds like you find men on Etsy. My brain in response immediately thought, but where are they at though? but where are they at though? How else are you supposed to find men nowadays? It's true. Okay, so yes, this is just great, honestly. Let me resize this so we can actually see it in actual frame now. Here we go. So that's it. That's my ref sheet. I'm very happy about it. I think it's great. The artist did like a wonderful job. There's I have no complaints. It's great. Who doesn't love this? I love it. I get mine on eBay, not eBay. If I had to nitpick one thing, I do wish that like her build was a little thicker. I'm a thicker girl IRL. I do have the pillowy thighs. I do have them, but I am a little thicker. But this isn't bad. I am so in love with this art. I'm gonna be using it and things from it for a very long time. Also, oh my god, my logo down here in the lower left. I was very excited to actually have put that together, to put that on here. And my little insignia up at the top in the upper left, that's also great. Okay, so the second reference, thick, yes, with maybe 3 C's. I made a tweet the other day talking about how people think that like any slight curve at all is cake, because I just was seeing a lot of posts where people were like, oh my god, you're so thick, and the person is like super flat. Not saying that flat, people can't be attractive or anything, but I'm definitely not about, like, let's not label things let's not give things labels that are not true, right? Like, if it doesn't look like your ass would clap like when you jump, I don't know if I would call it cake. I don't think I would call it cake. I think I would say you have a cute little booty. Not that me objecting to anything is literally gonna change anyone's mind, but I don't know. I saw like 6 posts in a row. That was basically like flat walls that were being called thick. And I was just like, please. I require, like, things have definitions for a reason, right? Like, you have to fit at least some loose term of the definition to be in a category. So it would be nice. Lumi on the cake side of Twitter shaking her. I don't want to put anyone down, because the issue isn't, are people attractive, right? That's not it. Like, you can be attractive at any size or shape. None of that actually matters. None of that actually matters at all. But what you actually have to do is label things according to what they actually are. Label things according to how they actually are. But anyway, I don't want to get caught in like a whole thing about that. People can label whatever it is they want, however they want. I just had to say something about it because it was bothering me. The second reference I wanted to show is actually more outfit stuff. I was able to get some art done, and this was done way earlier. And it's just me and a couple outfits that I own, basically. So this is the second ref. I posted this earlier. It's been around for a while. This and my other ref were finished way before my official ref sheet, which may be kind of sad because I wanted to post everything all at once, but I'm making up for it today. I own both of these outfits and have worn them exactly like this. I was just sort of playing around with the idea of other types of outfits for myself. And I think it came out pretty well. I have like literally no complaints at all. So I think that's great. Basically, I think that's fantastic. I think I can widen this just, yeah, there we go. There we go. Cool. Oh, now you can't see Doll. He's like a little cut off. There we go. P2 in the secret outfit. Basically, I've also worn my hair like this specifically. So I have an undercut. So it's not as quite as thick on the sides, I think, as it would be for some other people. But I've worn this specific hairstyle. The ears and stuff again. I've got the skull mask and everything, the flower crown. This was a really fun outfit to wear. Both of these, actually. This jacket, the red one, the red and black, like, it's like a damask pattern jacket. It's called like the Evil Queen jacket, and it like the lapel like pops up. It's actually great. I wish that I had something more to say other than that I just got this art because I think my outfits are cool, but that's basically what happened. That's pretty much what happened. I was like, dang, there are photos of me actually dressed like this in real life, and I think that they look fantastic. When I talked about this the first time on Twitter, I actually had someone like legit ask me like, oh, so you went to like a party with like your boobs out? That's basically what it was. They were like, you can't have possibly have worn this outfit because you're wearing like a corset with like nothing on top. And I was like, sir, I assure you that I haven't actually worn this outfit. It was to a Halloween party, actually. In the area that I live in, there is an annual Halloween event where they rent out all 9 or 10 floors of this performance hall. And then they have different vendors come in and do like Halloween creepy based installations, rides, performance art type things in rooms, stages and stuff like that. And they're all like horror themed for Halloween. So they encourage everyone to dress up for the event. And basically if you're in regular clothes, you literally are not allowed in. It's on the terms and conditions when you buy your ticket. You can't show up looking like a normie. So I went to that event in the outfit on the right. And it was actually really cool. I had like a great time. I have zero complaints whatsoever about how that went. They even had like one of the rides, quote unquote, was like a string of golf carts. A string of golf carts that were tied together, like they were like locked together with some sort of homemade mechanism. And yeah, we only allow freaks, literally. That's literally like the energy that's there. And so it was like a mini, like almost a mini roller coaster with the way that you, like the ride was like shaking and everything. They like picked one of the performance halls and cleared it out and had it like on a track going around the room. It was very interesting. I can only imagine the amount of paperwork. Oh wait, y'all allow freaks, let's go. I mean, that's basically how I felt about the event in general. So I had like a really good time. It was a fantastic event. I love this outfit and I wanted to immortalize it. Also, it made more sense to get it as like an outfit reference instead of an actual model, because I can't be on Twitch with like this outfit. It's not gonna happen. Era Moon, thank you for stopping by. Hello, hello. I am Luminous Peak. I'm a Fae tuber, and we're just discussing some of my like refs and lore today. I got a bunch of stuff that came in this week, and I'm just excited about it. So we're catching up this week, talking about it real quick, and then I'm popping to a friend's house to watch JJK. Yeah, you'd be going straight to Twitch jail. Yeah. Love me some lore. We are very close to the lore. The last ref sheet before we get into the lore is actually this one. This is my full Fae form. It is me undressed from all my human trappings, if you will. This is like my natural state when I'm not trying not to scare the living shit out of every human I come across. It is like the purest form of my, I don't know, like Fae essence, so to speak. We were talking about Fae lore before. And what they actually are comparatively. Oh no, that's Luminous. That looks clean. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, very many humans do not like being approached when I look like this. So, humanoid fox fae thing we are. That's it. That's what we got. Not that's lewd. So yes, I regret to inform you that in my truest essence, I do not have a physical face. But I mean, you don't necessarily need to have a physical face to interact with people. I can still tell how and where people are facing. As you can see, I have very many eyes. I have so many eyes. I'm not missing out on anything in particular. Or just, there's just other ways to see things. That's all. There's other ways to see things. I'd pet it. Oh man, I do enjoy pets sometimes. Sometimes pets are cool. I'm about it. If you're nice and not secretly an assassin or a threat trying to murder me, pets are fine. Why not? Really pretty. Thank you. And the artist who did this is on Viscera. And I'm gonna link them because I just believe in doing due diligence to my artists, honestly. They normally do equine or horse art. But they did this special for me because I'm a little more deer based with a touch of some fox features than equine. But they did an excellent job. They nailed it. Hello, Space Kitty. How are you? You can see everywhere but in front of you. I do have some extra sensory things going on for that. It's okay. You don't have to worry too much. And thank you 180. I appreciate that. I'm very excited to finally be complete. Now I can actually like go forth and share on all those VTuber memes and posts and whatnot. Okay. Now that we're done with that, because I don't want to just like geek out about my own art like forever. The feet have built-in heels. They do in fact have built-in heels. Okay. So now that we're back here, I did want to take a moment to read my lore. And we're at like an hour and 13. That's good. I wanted this to be a good short stream. Usually when I game or if I'm doing a keyboard stream, I'm streaming for like 4 or 5 hours. But I wanted this to just be, like a cute little brunch Sunday stream, you know what I mean? Like a little giggle with the gals and the pals. Okay. So I am going to post the link in here. I think, did I do the command? Let's see. Am I responsible? I am a responsible adult. Look at me go. So you can follow along at that link if you would like. Everything should be good on that page. Hopefully it's not fucked and I didn't And I didn't fuck it up. But if you don't have like the attention span, or you can't right now, I'm reading through it anyway. I just wanted to give people the option to follow along. So let's get started. It's first of all, I do want to say so I do reading streams normally. I do bedtime streams where I read stories. And it's so weird to read like my own instead of something that someone else wrote. It's a very surreal feeling. But okay, here we go. We've got our cute little title, Lumi P's VTuber lore. I usually shorten my name to Lumi P because there's so many Lumi like nickname VTubers out there. I'm not trying to jock their style or anything. So Lumi P's VTuber lore. TLDR, Luminous, that's me, is a fae of abominable form, which you just saw. Currently transformed for human consumption. A night witch who is normally off solving mysteries and battling anomalies that threaten other planets and civilizations. After a few millennia of hard work and several Member of the Century awards, she's here on your Earth as a part of her sabbatical, which is a fancy word for paid extended vacation from work. There's a couple of fun facts here. Fun fact number 1, Luminous's lore is and loosely involves, but is not super canon compliant with SCP lore. Y'all aren't unique enough, unlike me with the 5,000 other best friends. It's true. There are some names that are just, they're there. You know what I mean? Like, they're popular. People like them. At no point am I claiming to be the only Lumi or Luminous, but I am me. So hopefully that's good enough. I'll give you guys an extra fun fact. Luminous Peak is a very, 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 very obscure conversion and interpretation to what I would actually like to change my name to IRL. Like, I broke the name down into some base components and looked for like fringe meanings of those components, and that's actually how I got my username. I don't think it's anything that anybody would guess or discover or anything, but yeah, I will say there is definitely a based, thank you, 180, there is a very popular VTuber whose name is LumiTuber, and she's like a wolf VTuber from Finland, I think. And she's very cute. She's actually very popular. She's been around for a very long time. And I specifically thought of her and like not wanting to seem like I was just like hijacking her SEO or mentions or anything like that. She's actually really cool. I've been to a couple of her streams. Yeah, I think I know her name. Okay. But LumiTuber's cool. I think it's important to respect people in the spaces that you're coming into, especially when you're newer. Nah, you hijack that SEO, get the bag. LOL, JK. I do think that like once you get to a certain point, you can't really help it. But I don't want to plot to do that specifically. I'm not that kind of gal. But okay, the last fun fact. She is, and that would be referring to me, by all intents and purposes, nameless. This is the moniker adopted for streaming, and it takes continuous ongoing magic to protect me from having it stolen while on vacation. So this might be a tidbit of things that Chuvak might be interested in. So there is a specific lore for Fae, where they, instead of like stealing babies or anything, they steal like names and identities. And since I'm like loosely related to SCP lore, there is a specific SCP article specifically about the Fae and the name stealing stuff. For people who don't know what SCP is, it's an organization, like a fictional organization, known otherwise as Secure, Contain, and Protect. And the goal of the organization is to fight, like, basically evil anomalous forces. So anything out of the ordinary that might destroy humanity, their goal is to tag it and bag it if possible, and eliminate it if those things are not possible. In the meta, it's basically a very large wiki of an open source database where people can add articles about fictional, like, supernatural anomalies and stuff. So if you want to write about something that's like weird or creepy, or magical or unexplained, you can write it in the format that they want on the website and actually post it so that, like, your fictional creature or object or whatever becomes real. It's a really cool project. The general idea of it is all of the things that are recorded there are written as articles telling you how to contain it. So there's something that the SCP's already encountered and is gathering information on. Sometimes this is objects, like, for example, there's I think it's SCP-500, which are like panacea pills. They're all logged by number. So basically they're pills that can cure, like, almost any disease. But because people who discovered that kept using them, there's only like 10 left, and they don't know how to reproduce them. They cannot remake them. So they have them in storage, and they're protecting them from, like, weird people trying to break in to take them. Some of them are situations. So, like, things that happen on a regular basis that are super weird. For example, there's like a barn that housed a portal to another realm where, like, crazy, like, monster ass creatures were coming through and killing people. So they had to try to stay alive long enough, have a team out there long enough to figure out how to close the portal so stuff would stop coming through. And then there's some SCPs that are, like, actually people. So people that have weird powers or abilities, and things like that, that they also keep. So phenomena, objects, people, that's like the SCP. And there is an SCP article on the Fae. It is SCP-4000. And that is loosely the story / set of information that my lore is based off of. So we're going to read through this a bit. This will give some idea, and then I'll try to fill in any gaps if there are any. But here we go. This is the forward. I did a forward because, of course. Fae, by their natures, both steal and consume names, identities, and fates. This makes them quite difficult to deal with and hard to befriend. There are many pieces of human folklore that warn against interacting with them. Examples are: don't ever give them your name. Names are powerful things. Do not accept favors from fairies. And don't let your children loose in the forest, for there are fairy circles there, and they'll be carried away in the night. So then we move on to the lore proper. I actually want to see if I can show this off. Oh man, I'm going to be adding like an image here. It's going to turn out terrible. Because whenever OBS adds an image, like, it's always super weird. I should have prepared this in advance. I didn't think I was going to show it. Let's see. I wanted to show this lore slide really quick because I like the way that I put it together. Let's see. I've got a folder for references. Let's do it. Yeah, it is this one. Let's see. Can I... OBS, please work with me. Work with me, I'm literally live. Okay. I think we got it. I'm gonna cover my face a little, but it should be fine. Here we go. So this is this particular lore sheet. I'm not going to go through and do all of them, but I have like this little figure here and I just wanted to show it off. So it says here, Luminous came to being in Taboo, also known as the place where the nameless are found, a world between worlds, fallen Avalon, and similar such things. These descriptions are normally redacted. They're all ways to refer to the woodland area inhabited by the Fae. Without technomancy for use in online pages like this one, or other types of protective magic in person, one cannot normally refer to this place or the people who inhabit it by any consistent names, titles, or labels without putting themselves at significant risk. And the reason why this is because, at least in the SCP lore, right? The idea is once you name something, it has a name that can be stolen, like the essence of that thing. So the idea is you don't trade names. You don't trade names with a Fae because they can, in fact, actually steal it. Which there's in the SCP article, they talk about how you have to basically talk about everything in a roundabout way and never refer to anything as the same name twice. Because if you refer to something the same way more than once, it solidifies that that's like what the name of that thing is. Did someone say Fae? Yes, absolutely, Zeb. Hello. You made it just in time to hear the bulk of the lore. Okay. I just wanted to explain that. We're gonna go straight through the rest of the lore. Through folly of humans and interference from a mysterious group called the Wretches of Night, Luminous was, through some questionable means, guided to escape Taboo and take on a new identity. That favor didn't come without a cost, however. They recruited Luminous to be a malady hunter, which is a group of magically inclined entities who travel to different realms with the goal to eliminate anomalous threats in places where there's no means to do so. She trained and traveled with them, learning to use her magic to unravel the essences of these creatures. So basically to use the Fae magic, but on other things that are not human. She was and is considered an asset to the team, as it was too dangerous to vet and monitor other Fae for extraction. The rest after that was history. After a few millennia in revolutions around Sol, that's this star system, the way that humans measure things, Luminous was granted an award for exemplary service, and after assisting and occasionally leading many operations, I got a short sabbatical, so that's my vacay. That's what I'm on right now. Having learned a great many things and grown into someone she herself would call formidable, she felt comfortable peeking in on the state of Earth, a place that had once been a home and a prison. She had been many places and seen many different peoples, but there were few like Fae, potential made shape feeding on the plausible existence of others. So now she was equipped to protect herself from others like her. But what if she didn't need to? What is Earth like these days? It was easy enough to get there. The Wanderer's Library connects many planes, many timelines, and universes. For those of you who don't know, we love a good vacay. Yes, we do. The Wanderer's Library is also a fictional place. It's basically a big ass interdimensional library that connects supposedly like all the universes and planes. So if you want to travel somewhere, you could go through the library to get there if you know how to find like how to get in and how to get out. Goes on sabbatical, makes friends with the Eldritch Moth and a Bat Witch of Fate. Is this not like the perfect sitcom? Is this not great though? It's true. It's great. So yes, navigating the library was tricky in most cases. However, humans always make the most noise when they're discovering or exploring the library. And a group called the Serpent's Hand frequently sought knowledge from the halls, so they themselves were easy enough to trail. So I figured out how to get back to Earth by basically following noisy humans that don't know how to mind their own business, because that happens a lot. What she discovered was a world full of different types of possibilities. Humans had evolved a lot, developed technologies, and the other chaos of humanity is in full drive. The ever watchful eyes of several organizations over the planet have also evolved to keep track of things. And oh, how much they had to watch. Earth is currently full of visitors, wonders, and dangers, and so many more non-humans, which literally, an eldritch moth, a bat witch of fate. If you look at other VTubers like Iron Mouse, you literally have Satan. Satan literally lives here. That's crazy. Devils, spirits, entity she never thought would set foot near this place other than to destroy it, and she was instantly intrigued her destination was set. Why would I not want to vacation here? You guys have like Anthro Dog VTubers and like demons, devils, witches, kitsune, kappas, all kinds of crazy stuff. Who wouldn't want to come here and like make friends with the people who are here? Like, Earth is cool now, man. So that's why I'm here. It's the cool destination. I'm about it. I've learned so much since I've been here. The entire universe honed in on Earth and said, that is interesting. More or less, absolutely. I was just about to say I'd watch this anime. It's true. So there you go. That is my lore in its entirety. I know that a lot of people tend to have like very simple lore and they sort of fill it in over time, but I have such a hard time doing that. I am a writer at heart. I actually write very often, all the time, and it's hard to incorporate writing into VTubing actually. So I have to take little moments like this to express myself as much as possible. I feel like a normal person would have just written like, I was from here and then I left and did some things and now I'm powerful and I came back. But to me, like for me personally, my personal taste, I find that a little boring. Like I'm definitely a, how did we get here? What happens? Type of person. Girl, I'm not ready for the novel and I have to write. Are you ever ready though? Is an author ever ready for what they have to write? I don't think so. But yes, that is me, Luminous Peak at your service. To tie in just a little more, I mean, I'm sure that some of you might have put this together already, but the fancy calligraphy N here on my channel points actually represent names. So I am demanding that you all feed me names for sustenance. Those are the channel points that you are gathering. And I appreciate it. They're delicious. So there's that. My group, my community are called my morsels. I do in fact not want to eat you all up because then you wouldn't be here anymore, right? Yes, tithe. Num 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 num. Just have you ever just like taken a bite of something that's delicious and you're just like, this is it. Thank you for your tithes. I appreciate your service. So my community are called my morsels, but more so because like I just like to, play at nibbling at you guys a little bit. I just want to know what you taste like just a little bit. I don't want to eat like the whole being because then I wouldn't have any friends, but I can nibble like a little, just a little bit. Things I've actually said to Lumi IRL, people are so eager to give people their names. It's true. Y'all are crazy. Living life on the edge, truly, with no protections or security. Humans are just like, yes, here is who I am laid out on a table for you. Please treat me kindly. And sometimes the answer is yes, but other times the answer is, why would I be kind? You're delicious. What do you want me to do? I just want to, lick your essence a little bit. I just want to taste it. I'm not working right now. It's not like I need, a lot of energy to do things, yeah, why would I be kind? You're numbers. Num 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 num. You're good soup. I actually have conversations with people about this all the time because I will literally post about wanting to nibble on some of you occasionally, and I'll get a DM from someone that's like, don't like eat me though. Just like, I don't know what you want me to do. Stop being delicious. Yeah, if you want kindness, stop being delicious. To be fair, I feel like it's fairly obvious in the animal kingdom, you don't wine and dine your prey, you know? Like, you go straight for it. I think it's pretty cruel to like play with your food before you eat it, you know? Like, yikes. It induces a lot of anxiety. Very anxious meals are not delicious. There's a lot that goes into that. The body does a lot when you're not feeling great about the situation you're in. I just prefer to make it quick. I feel like that's the kind thing to do. That is kindness. Just saying. But it's okay. I'm on vacation. I know that like I would have a lot of people on my back if a bunch of you were to go missing. So I just want a little nom, a little nibble. A little nibble. I can find other names to eat. Names that are not real are a little less filling. But if the names are like characters or concepts, I can work with that. That can actually sustain me. I can deal with it. So if you're feeding me the name of like your favorite character or even just the title of something that you enjoy, I'll take that. I'll take that. Sounds pretty good. And that's it. That's me. That's my lore. I hope that you enjoyed reviewing my ref sheets and hearing me read my lore. I've been told I have a good reading voice. So that is to say, feel free to tune in to me for other reading streams. I do, in fact, do bedtime streams. I'd say like maybe once or twice a month if I'm really feeling the itch. It's Lumi. Oh, you're so sweet. Things have a name. Exactly. Lumi, and I took exception to that. Oh, I see what you did there. I did in fact take it personally. It's good. It's delish. It's tempting. I will say, to fuel a little bit of the mystery, the form that I currently have definitely came from me stealing the name and essence and maybe identity a little bit of a particular person who wandered into the forest, but I'm not spilling the beans on what that name is. It's secret lore. I'm not just gonna hand you potential weakness, you know? But I will hint that it is actually a thing. If you look hard enough, it's somewhere. I think I actually did mention it during my debut because I knew that no one would know or pay attention. But we're not talking about my previous life. Yeah, my previous life. Me, yes, my previous life. We're not going to talk about that. It was definitely my previous life, and we are definitely not going to talk about my previous life specifically. The Pikachu, the surprise Pikachu face. It's okay. I'm sure you'll sleuth it out. I believe in you. The internet is very powerful, is what I have learned. Collective instant communication, actually terrifying, actually wondrous, actually very impressive. The ingenuity of humanity is nearly unmatched. You all wear your hearts on your sleeves all the time and use that to power your inventions. So that's crazy. Me and Zeb about to go Sherlock. I wish you luck. I wish you so much luck. My brain is scattered. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was saying I do actually do bedtime reading streams for those who are interested or who just like my voice and enjoy having background noise that is substantial. Like I know some people who can't concentrate on background noise if it doesn't contain any information. So some people are cool with just ambiance, like, oh, it's raining outside, that's great. But some people feel comfortable like when there's people talking, like the same people that would like turn on the TV and like just leave it running for hours and hours. So I do bedtime readings both for those people and for people who actually enjoy having stories read to them. I do have some archived on my YouTube. If you're interested in that, you can hit that old exclamation point YouTube command. There we go. So there we go. There's four of them up now. Sometimes I read books that are like projects that have been made public, because then there's no, like copyright issue. Like if all the information is available online, like if you can read the book itself online, then it's not an issue. And other times I read from the Wanderer's Library, which was mentioned in my lore. The Wanderer's Library is in fact it's an archive of original stories, very similar to the SEP articles. So basically it's a big wiki that represents in the meta, the Wanderer's Library is supposed to be the biggest library ever that contains every book that ever existed, used to exist, or will exist. So people are encouraged to submit stories there. And they're all pretty good. They're usually supernaturally based, but there are some that aren't. And I'm gonna link that here too. The Wanderer's Library is actually great. I do peruse some stuff there even without streaming. Some of the stories in there are connected to the SCP site, actually. Like there are short stories that are written about SCPs. And that's cool. That's cool too. While I'm here, I think I'm gonna link to the SCP as well. Just because I think it's important for people to just know that things are cool on the internet that you can look up. These are both massive archives. There's no way you'll finish reading everything on here. They're really good for like, oh, I have a few minutes, let me read about something, or I just want something really interesting to take a look at. And if you're into more of like the sci-fi thing, you can go to the SCP site. If you're more into fantasy or stories, like full stories, I would go to the Wanderer's Library. They're both great. I am not sponsored by them. These are both open source free projects. They're actually just great. If you enjoy stories, they're fantastic. And I think that is about it. We've been streaming for an hour and almost 45 minutes. So I think this is a good time for me to end stream. It's almost 2. That's perfect. And I've got a date to watch the 2nd season of Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh man, a new rabbit hole. Let me tell you, Vesper. They're both infinitely deep rabbit holes. It's actually crazy. Very often when I'm reading SCP articles, I have to just actually tell myself, like, stop. Like, at this time, you have to stop. There's always a new article. There are some repeat authors that create universes that the SCP articles are in. So, like, in this version of Earth, the SCP has done XYZ. And here are what the SCPs are doing, or what the SCP Foundation is doing with them. It's really crazy. For those of you who don't like reading, there are a lot of YouTube videos of people reading the articles. There's videos of people discussing the articles and like breaking them down in case some of them are like too dense, like there's too much information for you to parse. And they're actually just wonderful. They're not quite audiobooks because I don't think the articles are long enough for that, but there's definitely some good stuff there. There's a whole lot of different types of SCPs. I was just gonna say, there's different types of SCPs. There's comedic ones that are more lighthearted and jokey, and there are serious, like, gore related ones. There's horror related ones. There's a couple that are written in the same format as like detective noir films. Basically, whatever genre you're looking for, if you know how to find it, you can definitely find SCP articles that are like that. If you're a more lighthearted person, I would suggest the first maybe 300 entries. So like entry 001 to like entry like SCP 300. Those are from back when the SCP first began. So most of the articles were just like, oh, here's this neat, weird thing that exists or that is happening. They were a little more lighthearted. People have gotten a lot more deep into like the lore of creating something terrifying in recent articles. Not all of them, but I'm just saying if you want like a consistent sort of lighthearted, oh wow, this is a cool idea experience, those first 2 to 300 are where you want to stay at. Oh man, my favorite comedic SCP is the catapult into the sun. Yes, that is crazy. And then the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse is goated. It's a great article. Oh, obligatory. I have to say this. My favorite article is there's an SCP article that is basically the ghost of Tupac Shakur. That's a whole article. That is actually a whole article. Somehow Tupac Shakur is an SCP who was put on this earth to help warn people about the dangers of anomalous things. So like they have albums of his, and when you play certain ones, instead of the normal songs, there are secondary or tertiary songs that were never before on the album that show up. And these songs are always warning about bad things that are about to happen. And there is a reading, like a live reading of these articles by someone on YouTube whose name is The Vulcan. And they actually got someone. I'll be right back. Turning Lana Del Rey into an SCP. I see Nightbot working hard. But yeah, they actually got someone to impersonate his voice for the recording. So all of the songs that are featured in the article are actually performed by like an actual voice actor. And it's actually great. The way that the raps were written and stuff, chef's kiss. Whoever wrote the article was clearly a fan of Tupac and actually studied him and stuff. It was actually great. And that's my favorite one because there's so much effort that was put into that on so many different levels. But there are also SCPs that I love that involve like some gory things. Sometimes you can get into heavier themes with SCPs, so tread with caution. We're dealing with like crazy hauntings and things like that, so if you're sensitive to like extreme violence or gore or whatever, definitely like make sure you read like the headers and the warnings and stuff first, or even check out maybe like a video of someone looking at it and see if there's warnings that way before you do that. I think she might already be one already. I think Lana Del Rey may actually be an SCP already. Hilarious. I wouldn't be surprised with all her unreleased songs. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I enjoy reading and stories. Hopefully I'll be doing another reading stream soon. We can look up some other stories. The last time we did readings, we actually got some pretty good lighthearted stories all the way up until the end. I was actually shocked. We were reading from the Wanderer's Library, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do a stream where I just straight up read SCP articles. We'll see. We'll see what you guys are into and what you like. But okay. It is a 2:03. So I am going to end stream here. Thank you so much to all of you for coming to visit me and to see my refs and to hear my lore. I appreciate the conversation about the Fae and what they are. I hope that was useful to someone. I will say upcoming, we're going to have a reading stream soon. We may have a mechanical keyboard stream sooner though. Maybe. I have some keycaps on the way. And the rest of the build is here already. So I may actually just do that. So those things are coming up. I do have to get back into season and everything. But I like to sit for like a big group of time if I'm going to stream a game. So we'll see if we can fit that in next week. Alrighty. Before I go, what I say at the end of every stream, thanks for coming to visit me. please remember that you matter and that it's very important to take care of yourself. I feel like people are not good at that. I feel like humans in general are not good at that. You deserve to take care of yourself. You deserve it. You deserve all the good things. You deserve to be functional and refreshed and energized. So that little voice that is hopefully the good one, not the one that's telling you to set things on fire. The one that's reminding you that there are things you should be doing. Take a listen to that one, you know. I refuse, but thank you. That's such a polite response. I appreciate how polite that was. I refuse, but thank you. Great stream. Thank you. Thank you. I did want to try to do these like just talking streams more often, and I do actually like them. Maybe next time I'll go into, because I only had so much time, I didn't want to skimp out on my refs. Maybe I'll go into a little more detail about how ridiculous that move situation was. Oh man, a pyrotechnic stopped again. You can't listen. If there's one thing that I've learned being here for quite some time among the humans, it's that they don't appreciate you just setting random things on fire. You know? It can't just be random things that are set on fire. I don't know about that one. So no Zeb, no setting things on fire. So yes, anyway. Except for 180, because apparently he refuses. Please remember that you're great and take care of yourself. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.